Hello everybody. So, my depth study is of the 2011 Christchurch Earthquake. The question on the screen right now will be answered later on. Anyway, the earthquake location is of course Christchurch, New Zealand. The type of plate boundary is a convergent plate boundary between the Australian plate and the Pacific plate. The disaster was a magnitude 6.3 earthquake. There was serious structural damage in Christchurch. 185 people lost their lives, with an estimated 164 people injured. The earthquake occurred at 12:51 p.m. on Tuesday the 22nd of February 2011. This just happened to be during most people's lunch break. This means a lot of people were out on the streets, going out shopping, walking, or buying lunch. 130 people lost their lives at the Canterbury Television and Payne Gold Corporation buildings. 8 people lost their lives when 2 buses were crushed by falling debris. 11 people lost their lives from falling bricks and building debris when walking along the streets. The 2011 earthquake was also caused by a fracture of a 15-kilometre long fault along the southern shire of the city. The fault fell southwards beneath the Port Hills and did not break the surface. The Pacific Plate is going northwest at 56 to 102 millimeters a year, and the Australian Plate is going northeast and going at 62 to 70 millimeters a year. So, my first technology is a viscous seismic dampener. They are used to help dissipate the shock waves that impact bridges and buildings during earthquakes. Viscous seismic dampeners are similar to the common car shock absorbers. They reduce the magnitude of the seismic waves by harnessing the movements within the dampener. The dampener consists of a piston connected to a rod. The chamber that the piston is in is filled with oil, which offers restrictions to move. The dampener takes the structure's kinetic energy and transfers it into thermal energy within the dampener's oil, so they can help to prevent buildings and infrastructure damage during earthquakes. Its safer structures will lead to less lives lost. Dampeners have been found to reduce the possibility of bridge piers shearing and collapsing during a seismic event. There are, though, some disadvantages to dampeners, such as consistent maintenance, mostly weekly, to see if they are still working properly due to age or corrosion. Thermal mass or poor thermal conduction can result in large temperature increases, resulting in failure of the viscous dampener. This technology that we currently have to offer is one of the best options that we have in the ways of earthquake destruction prevention. My other technology was seismic warning systems. These systems are a network of seismic stations which hold sensors that pick up on the primary waves, and then help measure the time and distance of the destructive secondary waves. Once the primary waves are detected, the information is relayed through the network so early warnings can be issued in an attempt to help preserve life in the event of an unexpected earthquake. This technology is a very handy and useful system that helps people prepare for incoming earthquakes. Although there might be only a matter of seconds of pre-warning, it could also be enough time for people to get under a table or brace themselves for the incoming tremors. There have also been false alarms which could cause mistrust in people. This could be devastating if a real large earthquake occurred and people ignored the warnings. These systems also can't exactly determine what magnitude of the earthquake is, and don't know how big the earthquake may be. Can we disaster-proof the planet is the real question here. Well, no. We can't stop these natural processes, as most of you will agree. Tectonic plate movement helps replenish our soils and minerals, though these disasters can be measured and help stop the loss of lives. The 2011 Christchurch earthquake was an unexpected earthquake, taking many citizens by surprise. Like, the earthquake's biggest issue were the amount of falling buildings and infrastructure damage. If technology such as seismic dampers were installed, a number of buildings in the Christchurch area could have been a much safer place. Christchurch had installed a tsunami alarm, but in 2011 They didn't have an earthquake warning system. This system could have saved numbers of lives in the Christchurch area during the earthquake. These systems give an early warning that the earthquake is about to occur and give people an opportunity to run or hide from the falling objects. Other technologies such as pendulum dampers or flexible foundations could have also been used in an attempt to limit damage to infrastructure. Pendulum dampers are a large weight and hydraulics move the opposite to the earthquake's movement, and flexible foundations are constructed on a mat or plate that is isolated from the building and the ground, so when the earthquake hits, the base moves, but the building doesn't. In my opinion, we can use technologies to help people survive and try to limit infrastructure damage during these disasters. But we cannot stop the natural process themselves. That are the force of the nature we cannot control. We can help predict, prevent, and/or mitigate these disasters, but we cannot stop them.